Hello, good morning. This is Louise doing another video here in Manchester. It's quite a grey day outside, rain, definitely winter is here. We've had frost already, and most of the plants that were outdoors have come in now. This one behind me, the macrorrhiza, it's got new leaves still coming out. It's huge, so they seem to have transitioned quite well. I'm going to do a little chat about one of my plants, the coffee plant that I've got. I bought it in May last year at Kew Gardens, only a little tiny plant. Well, there were lots of seedlings in a cup, and I brought that with me, and I'll just bring it across to show. And this is the plant now, which looks healthy enough, but I've not separated. There were several in the pot, and I did have one previously which I did separate, and it didn't do well. Once I separated it, they just seemed to die off, so I decided to keep this together in this big pot, this pot I put them in a couple of months ago. They were in a smaller pot, and the roots had literally come out and they were turning to mush because there was nowhere for them to go, and I hadn't realised, and I noticed the leaves were dropping and checked the roots, and obviously it was pot bound, and there was a danger of root rot, although that hadn't happened. So I've repotted it in a mixture of ericaceous compost, because they like acidic soil, and some coir, vermicompost, a little bit of citrus compost in there as well, and pine bark to give it drainage, and vermiculite as well. So that was only a couple of months ago, and I thought, starting to put out more growth, and all this is new growth. But noticed recently the stems again are starting to lose leaves, and if I can find a leaf on here that's typical of what is happening, there's a yellowing starting. I think I removed the yellow leaves, but I should have kept it to show you. Here it is. I'll show you the leaf. If you can see that big yellow stripe down the middle, and definitely a deficiency of some sort. I'm not sure if it's magnesium, or it could be a lack of iron, can cause the leaves to turn yellow like that. I'm not 100% sure. So what I did this morning is I gave it a little bit of a boost and added this, which is what I use for a lot of my roses and camellias, but it's pretty good for using with acidic loving plants, and coffee is an acidic loving plant. So I've given it some of that this morning. I believe, I wasn't aware that they do like, they're heavy feeders. I wasn't aware of that, and so I've given it a little bit more of this seaweed extra, and I use that on most of my plants, and you know, it's great. It gives them good healthy leaves. I don't seem to have a problem with yellowing in any of my plants, so must be doing the trick. However, after 2 months of putting this in the pot, I can just show you, you can see the roots have come right through. So I'm going to have to repot this, and I'm going up quite a big size. Oops. The size of pot, much bigger, but I'm not going to separate these. I'm going to keep them as they are. So I don't know if you can see close up, they're starting to have little, on the bare bits, little shoots appearing, and these will probably grow upwards because the way that the branches are bending in a lateral way, you will now get these shoots vertical, and it will become a much bushier plant
maybe when it's a bit bushier I will separate them out because they look a bit better, but so that's the plan for the coffee, and I will update you on that. But hopefully, I mean, this will be by May of next year, it'll be a 2-year-old plant, so it's about 1.5 years now. Let's see all the stems together. So there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fairly large stems and a couple of smaller ones. So I'm just going to keep them together like that, and hopefully once I've repotted there'll be a bit of growth spurt hopefully, and no more yellowing of the leaves. Okay, so I'll keep that down there. Now another poorly plant, I would say. You can guess what that was. That was Syngonium podophyllum, and it did have beautiful pink foliage up until about a month ago, and it was in this room, but I decided to move it to my kitchen windowsill, and I don't know whether it was change of conditions. It is warmer in this room. The kitchen does get light, it's on a kitchen windowsill. This is a southeast facing window, and the windows at the back face west. They get late afternoon sun, but we're not getting much sun now anyway because it's winter, but plenty of light. So I've checked, I think perhaps it might be root rot, might have given it too much water, and I haven't potted it up. So what I will do today is pot this up into some nice fresh compost and hopefully get some new growth there. So sad about that because I did like this plant, it was very pretty, lovely pink foliage. So that's what's going to happen with that. And just want to show you some of these cuttings I've got that I put in water. So these were in water, and Scindapsus or Eprypnum, I think that's the word that the Americans used, but I got this, the original plant I got when I got married, which was 39 years ago, and my husband bought it actually, a little plant, not much bigger than this, and it's grown massively over the years, and I've cut it back and made fresh cuttings and plants from it. So this is from the original plant, and it was growing in my hallway, it took over the hallway, and I literally just cut it down and reduced it to basically one of these. So I've got 3 or 4 more cuttings like that. As you can see, the roots have appeared on it, so I'm going to pop that up today. In here I've also got Happy Leaf, Eprypnum aureum I think it's called, or Mandula pothos. I've got different names for all of these, but it's got nice, as you can see, nice variegation, nice white variegation on it. So this is a newly acquired plant. I got this earlier this year. I'd never seen it before, wasn't sure that it was actually part of the pothos family, but apparently it's a new breed. So I've taken a cutting from it and it's got a root there, but I'm going to let that grow a little bit more before I pot that up. And in here I've got the silver or satin pothos, and you can see root growing there. So one of my plants, I think you can see here in the background, it's from this plant there, and that's grown pretty well. I got that earlier this year and started to grow a bit too long, so this is from the trailing parts. I've taken a cutting and I'll just create more plants from that. So plants for free basically. You know, once you've got your plants established, you can take cuttings from them once they're starting to get big and bushier. So that's what I'll be doing. I'll be potting those up
And here, very pleased with this plant, is the Philodendron Brazil, and I love the foliage on this. You have that like a stripe down, well, a splash, like a splash of paint of, you know, lime green down the front. Oh, beautiful. And lots of new growth coming out, lots of leaves. So this sits on the windowsill and loves it there, but I am actually going to put it in a hanger, and I'm going to repot it because I don't know if you can see the roots are starting to come out the bottom, and slightly bigger pot, maybe this size I'll go for, and hopefully have a nice cascading waterfall effect in my window to complement all the other plants. So yes, very pleased with that. And another plant that I purchased at the same time as the Philodendron Brazil, which I got from Flourish. It's a new flower shop in flower shop in Didsbury, and they have another shop in Manchester city centre, but I live in Didsbury, so close to home. And I got this, which I've shown in a previous video, and happy to say doing very well. This is a new leaf, just came out this week, and then subsequently this leaf has just appeared yesterday. This came out. So they start off a light green, and then they turn, as they get a little bit older, within a day or two start to get a lot darker. So yes, very pleased with that, because the last plant I got of these didn't do very well. I couldn't get it, although I had it in the same position as I've got this plant in this room. For some reason the roots just started to rot away. Maybe the watering or the compost I had it in wasn't very good. But yeah, so I'm pleased that this is doing well. There's a new leaf coming out there, more new foliage coming out here. So a nice substantial size plants, which I got for £8. There were bigger plants than this, but I don't like to buy really big plants. I like to start off with either small to medium, not spend too much money, you know, because if they don't work out, you know, don't want to be wasting money. So smaller plants I go for generally, and tend to be more successful with that. I'll just give you an idea of the compost it's in. It's in a very chunky pine bark mix with coir, some vermicompost, and excuse me, it seems to like it. I don't water it a lot. The last time I watered this was about 8-9 days ago, so probably 2 weeks excuse me, 2 weeks that I'll be watering this again. So not too much water, spray misting it with just a spray bottle. Don't do anything, you know, more than that. Just give it a little bit of a squirt, and that's it. You know, hopefully that will be enough to stop it from drying out, because I know these plants do have a problem with the browning of the leaves, and there was some browning when I got it. These are the older leaves. Excuse me. I'm glad to say that the new leaves haven't got any browning on them, so must be doing something okay. Put that back. And just give you a shot of this plant here. So this is, I found out it's called Blue Hawaii, Colocasia Blue Hawaii. I just want you to have a look at those leaves on there. Oh, beautiful. Really pleased with this plant. I'll just give you an idea of excuse that little paintbrush is what I use to flick off any green fly. It's like a little brush, like a little broom. So I use that on all my plants to get into little nooks and crannies with where the green fly tend to go and flick them off without damaging the plant. You can see this is the root tuber, and it actually fills the entire pot. When I bought it, I wasn't sure that this would grow, so I didn't really want to put it in a huge pot with loads of compost and then, you know, find it dies and then I can't use that compost because it's either got fungus or some kind of rot in it. So I kept it in this small pot outside. We had lots of rain in the summer, and there was a shoot here when I bought it from the grocer's shop, an Asian grocer's, and I thought, oh well, it's got a little shoot, I'll give it a go. Cost me about £2 for the, you know, the whole tuber, and I left it outside. The shoot died off. I thought, oh, it's not going to make it, so I left it outside. And then just before, well, around September, we're having lots of rain, and I noticed lots of little tiny shoots popping out. So I thought, oh, but it seems the wrong time of year for it to be starting to grow, because I thought, well, if weather's going to get colder, this is not going to survive the frost. So I brought it in, and so this is the result since then. Lots of new growth, beautiful stems, and lovely leaves. I had a look on the internet to see, because I've got Colocasias that are plain green, and they do grow huge leaves, but I've not seen this stripe before. Very pretty. So yeah, this is definitely a keeper. I could, if I wanted to, cut these from the parent, you know, tuber, and separate them, but I'm going to leave it for now. I'll wait till summer if it survives through the winter, and may start dividing the tuber up, so I've got like several plants, and then it will expand. So yeah, I'll have lots more of these. So I'm very pleased with this for the cost of, you know, a couple of pounds, which is nothing really, you know, in terms of getting exotic tropical plants. So that's all there is for today. I will pot up the coffee plant and the Philodendron Brazil and the podophyllum, and when we see any results, hopefully good results, I'll do another video and update you then. So thank you for joining me. Please press the like and subscribe. It does help to encourage me to do more videos, and hope to see you soon. Thank you. Bye bye.